Adults with no best friends and no so, how do you spend your free time? You're looking at it. Son. I was in that state a couple months ago. I would get off work, go for a run, eat out somewhere or hit a grocery store to pick up something to cook. Then come home and watch sports and drink beer. Come to think of it, I don't know why I have a so now. Life was so much better then. I have an awesome dog. http I imgur comzj3i36h jpg. We go on walks, visit neighbor dogs, swim in the river, play fetch. I also read a lot, and of course waste time on Reddit. Age 32. Social status single. Gender male. Virgin. Yup. So let's see. Wake up 06:00. Take a shower. Eat breakfast. Head to work. Have lunch at work 10:45. Head home 16:00. Eat dinner. Chill a while. Exercise 3 days a week. Leisure activity, YouTube. Jerk off. Anime. Manga. Music. Reddit. Video games etc. Until bedtime 22:00. Weekends I usually sleep in a little longer. Do some housework. Run various errands and just chill. It's not a bad life all things considered. Seeing various threads on Reddit makes me realize that it could be many times worse. It just kind feels so wasted. Like, I'm not living. I'm existing. Maybe I should get a cat. In all seriousness, in regards to this topic, if anyone in Las Vegas, particularly North, wants to hang out and grab a beer, don't be afraid to message me. You can trust me. Despite my name. Edit. Wow, thanks all. You know, for making me feel like shitty about where I live. Also, I don't understand how everyone responds at like 2 to 6 AM in the morning. It seems like a lot of people are really interested in meeting up. We could set a date sometime this week, or tonight for that matter, at High Scores Arcade in Henderson. Nothing to be afraid of. It's not like we'd be meeting at a back alley or something. Let me know if you're interested. Happy hour is from 3 to 6 PM. Also, I'd like to request that we go by Reddit name basis. Like, hi, I'm UPMMEUR but girls. I have never had a GF. I'm 24 and currently have no friends either. I spend most of my time thinking about having a real social life. It's not just the sex. I want someone to chill with and talk to. It's f-king pathetic. People younger than me are f-king and reaching milestones I can only dream of. Holidays are coming. My uncles and aunts are going to be asking me these questions which only amplifies my loneliness. I hate this time of year. It's cuddling season. One friend is all I ask. I go to the gym 6 days a week after work. When I come home I make a lunch pack gym bag for the next day. I browse Reddit, Netflix, Pornhub, Amazon through the week and then fall asleep. Weekends. I go to the bar when the mood strikes me. I'm in the process of paying student loans off like a motherfucker, so I don't really do a whole lot. Honestly, I think my life is pretty boring, and if I was financially able to do so, I'd quit my job and move, but it's not possible at this point. Life would be a lot different if I wasn't in debt so much. When I first moved back to Indonesia, I had 0 friends since I've been out of the country for 11 years by that time. At first, I ended up spending a lot of time with my mom. She even started telling her friends' kids, please ask my daughter out. She has no friends and is really lonely. Double quote. Crap. Clearly I'm starting to look really sad here. So I stopped going out with her and had more time for gaming. I had 3 LVL85 WoW characters and 2 Adept and all purple items. My APM for StarCraft has never been higher and I got hooked on LoL as well as a lame browser based game. I was so cool. Take that, mom. I watch a lot of movies and do lame crafty shit like cross stitch or turning a dresser into an entertainment center. And a whole lot of Reddit and Pinterest. Cry. A lot. Edit. Wow, I didn't mean to come off as pathetic as I did. But I'm really moved by all your support. Thanks. Everyone. Well, I just passed 60. 000 comment karma today. So that should be a pretty good indication. I go to work. I come home. I go on Reddit. I game. I eat. I sleep. Repeat ad nauseum until you spend time each day thinking about how the world would be different without you. Get sad when you can't think of a single positive contribution your life has had. Think about going out and buying booze to get blackout drunk. Realize you don't have the money to do that. Get more sad. My best friend is my ex and she just fell in love with someone. It's nice to know I'm not alone in being alone. So, about 5 years ago, I had never had a real girlfriend. I was in my mid-20s and had just moved halfway across the country because FCK where I grew up. I picked up basically every hobby a person can pick up. Brewing was the obvious first choice because I f***ing love beer. And there is just something kind of primal about it. I also learned how to draw, paint, knit, and sew. I made myself one of those Tom Baker Dr. Who scarves. I made myself a suit jacket. I made a pair of shoes. I learned how to do bookbinding and gave a personally bound copy of my master's thesis to my mom so that she could see what the hell I had been doing for the last few years. I did leather working and made a badass belt with a buckle that I made when I learned to do blacksmithing. I had a bitchin' garden one summer that produced more zucchini and jalapenos than I thought was possible. I visited Southeast Asia for a few months and ate every weird thing I saw other people eating. All this was before I found Reddit. Though. Now I'm probably the most boring person alive. I like spending the majority of my time alone. I have a ton of friends. But 99% of the time I like to be on my own and do my own thing for 2 reasons. 1. Because it allows me to pursue my goals. I get a kick out of being productive and doing things to better myself. Working on my career. Studying for my professional exams. Practicing my guitar. Working out at the gym. Reading books. Most of these things require solitude and all of them in my experience at least benefit from it. It might sound boring. But self-improvement is what I enjoy and makes me happy. 2. It allows me to be myself. I find it hard to completely be myself around people. Being on my own allows me to really get in touch with myself without subconsciously molding my behavior to a social setting. TLDR, I masturbate a lot. I try to take on as much work as possible. It makes me look good to the bosses and keeping busy prevents me from spiraling back into crippling depression that nearly killed me. I filled mine with part-time jobs and the rest of the free time goes to learning a new skill, currently ASL, or watching the latest TV show I'm working on, currently Band of Brothers. I masturbate a lot. Most guys have to rush one out. I can just sit around my living room, watch porn on 3 screens and have a nice 2 hours session. Aside from that, I usually have some video game I put an hour or more into a night. Browse Reddit daily. TV and movie on weekends. Basically the answer is, as a free man, I can spend my free time in any way I please. Having friends and a girlfriend is pretty expensive. Weddings can cost upwards of $500. I work 12-16 days. Then catch up on sleep during the weekends. I have no friends or so by default. Walk around in circles. People watch. Read. Cook food. My wife died October 2012. I spend my time working or playing video games or watching seasons of TV shows or thinking about how nice death would be. The worst time is going to bed. Being alone seems to hit me hardest when going to bed. The fact that I have no intention of getting in another relationship doesn't help. I haven't cut my hair since my wife died. I wear it in a ponytail. I have a large beard. I really just don't give a FCK anymore. Watching my so die a slow death really has killed me also. I'm in a similar position. Graduated. Moved to a new city. My friends are elsewhere, hours away. I don't approach people easily. I come home from work and watch TV, Netflix. Drink a beer. Have whatever I cooked. I like to cook. I've got some hobbies in electronics, so I tinker. If there's a concert or event I want to go to, I just go by myself. I walk around a lot at school and between my courses. Then get on the computer to listen to music and read. When I go home, I continue to listen to music. Get on the internet. Play computer games and just contemplate. Take naps. Same on the weekends. This alone time allows me to think obsessively and worry about things. Reading info books and a few short stories. Writing fiction. A lot of Netflix. Drawing. Video games. Sleeping. Wikipedia. The gym. I've seen every episode of Seinfeld at least 20 times. I wish I was exaggerating. But that's probably a lowball estimate. And I'm on my 3rd time through every Family Guy episode in the past couple months. I'm a 29-year-old man and have a crappy job where basically all of my coworkers are old women. All of my friends are married or close to it. So I rarely hang out with them. I've been on a couple dates in the past few years. But nothing even close to serious in about 8 years. I go to my mom's house sometimes to visit my dog, who I had to give up when I moved into my current apartment. Holy crap, that was depressing to read. The same things everybody else does. I try to blend in so my solitude doesn't scare off the normal folks. Edit. Solidarity is in fact the exact opposite of what my lifestyle exemplifies. Honestly, I just read about magic cards. I used to just be a casual player hitting the FNMs and the occasional event, but now I just read about format strategies, current top decks, price drops, etc. Once I get home from work, I go home and either surf the web, let's be honest, just Reddit, or play video games. Some of these are honestly just sad. Someone should start something to fix this issue. Like an actual friend finder for Reddit type deal. List your likes. Set up game tournaments at home, etc. I browse internet and play video games. But I'm so sad that my mood and whether I want to kill myself or go out and make an effort to improve my life depends on whether I'm playing well or not. I mainly just browse the internet and read tech news. I enjoy pacing and listening to audiobooks. Maybe a bit rare, but spending my time with a glass of rum, moving, and experiencing another person's perspective is my cup of tea. Personally, I'm on book 13 of the Dresden Files and I've never been more immersed in an experience. Shout out to our audiobooks. I write. I play video games. I watch Netflix. I'm teaching myself to play the guitar and the piano. My neighbors just love me. Amateur photographer. Chocolate eater. Coin collector. Hanger owner user. The list goes on. As an adult that keeps busy and has no interest in long-term commitments or relationships, I tend to go to the strip club every few weeks. It helps me unwind. I know it's a bit weird, but I'm 22. I like to flirt and conversate about BS and lay back. I've been going to the same club for a while now, so the girls up there know me. But I never gave them my real name. I use a stage name. Aladdin. It was chosen for me. Probably because I'm of Middle Eastern descent, lol. Anyways, it works out because I'm not looking to take anyone home and they are usually up there getting paid to spend time with the guys there. It works out. Especially if it's not a very busy night, most of them just want to have a decent conversation with someone who isn't slurring words or trying to grab their ass. It's cool. Maybe it's not the best way to spend what little free time I have, but it works for me. Read. I love reading. Fantasy and sci-fi mostly. But I'm getting into all sorts of esoteric shit these days. It's fascinating. And transhumanism consciousness stuff. Mostly FB groups. Plus I just got Netflix, so I'm catching up on some series. I watched season 1 of Mad Men this weekend. I'm relatively long in the tooth for Reddit, so most of my mates are married and or babied up. I still get out at the weekends for parties, BBQs etc. I live in Bondi, but most of the week I hang out in the apartment, make nice dinners, play with the cat and watch my sexy housemate doing the ironing in her underwear. Plus I'm right on the water so I can gaze at the ocean for hours on end. All in all, life's pretty good. I'd like a good relationship, but I'm a picky mofo and most of the girls in Bondi are vacuous gold diggers bimbos conceited. I should get myself out to the inner west more often to meet some real chicks. I spend my time being reoccupied by small tasks and, like many of us, the internet. Most days the only reason I get up is my dog. 27. Female. I lived in Japan for a while and left unexpectedly when that tsunami earthquake of 2011 forced me to evacuate and I kind of lost everything I had built for myself over there. There was a lot of outrage when I decided to leave and I found myself completely cut off from the friendships I had leaned on for years. So I returned to the States to no friends. That was 5 years ago now and not much has changed. I create things as much as I possibly can. I drown out my loneliness and boredom with just constant creation. This year I've written a book, drawn a comic, drawn somewhere around 200 illustrations, designed and decorated my dream loft apartment, built somewhere around 10-20 websites. I am always thinking of new stories, writing shit down, doodling in notebooks, etc. I keep telling myself that my hobbies will bring me friends one day, but I'm starting to get that it's probably not true for me. I also work full-time as a graphic designer at an ad agency and spend a lot of time soaking up all the time I can get from my elderly parents. Computer. Motorcycling. Porn. Sleep. Read. Motorcycling. Workout. Movies. TV shows. Video games and some motorcycling. Get home. Play video games. Read books. Sleep. Somewhere in there is smoking weed. I cook once a week and eat that over the course of the week. I do actually have a roommate, but due to our work schedules we see each other maybe a total of 5 hours a week. Usually less. School. Work. Gym. Gather food. Repeat. Contemplating if I should become a criminal or not. Maybe becoming like Travis Bickle. I don't know. I mainly just watch TV, go to work, or go on Reddit. Netflix. Naps. Banging strangers I meet on the internet. I have a list of games I've never played, about 60 titles long. I just go through beating them when I'm not hanging out with my buddies online. I guess you couldn't call them best friends since they don't live near me, but close enough. Eat too much pizza. Waste too much time. Watch too many movies. Life's good but it's losing its touch. I wish I discovered geocaching while I was unemployed. It gets you out of the house. It's free. It's interesting. Makes you feel connected and has its own little rewards. And running. I started the Couch to 5K program and I would try to channel my bad feelings into it, but busy found that I was too focused on what I was doing to even think about bad shit. It's good for you. Fun and rewarding. And free. When you're unemployed you get into this slump where it's hard to feel good about yourself. And it's hard to get out of the house because everything worth doing costs money. So those little things that are fun and rewarding for free are great. I'm currently in the process of making a new friend out of the spare parts I found in a dumpster behind the emergency room where I work. Trying to become someone cultured. Someone who is kind. Someone that I respect. Trying to become a better person. For when I do find those special people, I'ma give them my best. I guess I'm also an optimist. Since it's 13 hours into this thread, and I doubt that anyone will ever read this, so I have no problem admitting the frank and honest truth. I view my life and my own happiness as worthless. And though I am socially competent, I view myself as someone who is unable to integrate into society. As such, I have no personal goals. I don't believe in self-advocacy, at least for myself. And the truth is that the only reason that I wake up in the morning is for the benefit of those around me. I'm now dedicating my life to becoming a teacher, because I think that I can positively influence teenagers and because I see a rising trend of people that are like me. In my opinion, this makes me uniquely situated to help these young people. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that my life doesn't end up being a waste of time simply because I'm not able to be integrated into a social system. If you read this, thank you for your time. It wasn't an easy thing to say. And I didn't really have the time to say it. I'm off to more classes now. So thanks. I wouldn't say that I have no best friends. I just don't have 5,000 friends to hang out with every day. Piano practice. 2-4 hours a day. Watch a Netflix movie. Call friends to go hiking. Then go to eat. Then go home. Then turn on PC. Then's hamster. Me. I have a best friend but she lives in another state. I'm pretty introverted so I don't go hang with friends often at all. I spend my free time with my kids. Being a single mom and working full time keeps me busy as shit. When I have time to myself, I spend it on the internet. I like to learn so don't assume I'm looking at cat pics all day. I only spend like 1/3 of my internet time doing that. I kid. Oh. And I paint too. Edit and drink wine. And clean. A lot. I enjoy learning languages. I study and practice my languages. I hang out here or on other social media. I read news from several countries. I do yard work. I do what I like. I actually do have an so. But he's 1,000 miles away. So I'm not actively with him every waking second. I'm studying psychology at university. So I just spend some time brushing up on my work. I also like going out and partying and making acquaintances. I don't really think you need a best friend to survive. A handful of good friends is working well for me at this point in my life. I also have several jobs, which keeps me occupied. I ride a bike, play with my dog, play a lot of video games, read a lot. I am also taking classes at the community college. I also like to go to the bar. I do have best friends, but I don't see them very often as they live a few hours away. Video games. Lots and lots of video games. I play video games, masturbate, smoke weed, watch the occasional movie or TV program on Netflix or instant streaming of some kind. I eat, too. Basically, I spend my free time killing time before I can get back to work. I'm waiting to die. I'm a 57-year-old Asperger and avoidant personality disorder. I've been this way all my life. What us Aspergers lack in social life we make up for by having a rich inner life. I like to exercise after work, then surf the web and waste time on forums. I play the guitar for an hour or two. Then usually video games until bedtime. I like Diablo 2 and 3 because I like doing the same thing over and over as long as I'm getting new loot. Building stuff. Woodworking. Electronics. Robotics. Art. Music. Reading. Massaging my cat. Working out. Keeping things clean. Model airplanes. Watching the occasional vid. Writing code. Honestly, I don't understand how people could ever be bored in this day and age. I have friends but I don't hang with them often. I'm 45. Have 2 dogs. And there is no problem meeting girls. I prefer being alone for now. 2 divorces is enough. I like women. Just don't need one. I rebuild old cars. GTOs. Transams. Mustangs etc. Spend time with my dogs. I'm building my home from the trees growing on my land. And doing most of the work by hand. I make ethanol fuel to run my cars. And I live a relatively austere life except for my tools. Parts. and equipment needed for cars and fuel. Not a prepper or survivalist nut. I simply like doing things this way. It's cathartic and honestly cheaper cash wise. Why pay someone for something I can do myself? How do you guys deal with the urge to have sex? Porn just doesn't feel the same. I work, eat and sleep pretty much. Watch some series when I come home and maybe smoke some shisha tobacco. Spelling? Comma, it feels like my life is just passing by. I should get a hobby or something but no idea where to begin. Comma, I'm 24 BTW. For me, when I had no so and a sparse best friend, I had a few hobbies. Gym. Playing the guitar. Video games. Draw. Now I barely do any of those things. Why'd you limit it to best friend? Video games. Playing with my cats. Going to a movie. Interneting it up. Having lunch with my mom and or brother. Basically anything I want to do within the realms of the law. Which isn't much because I'm typically too lazy and tired to do anything after work. Former loner here. I kept fit. I mean, I ran and pushed my body immensely to compensate for it. Probably staved off darker thoughts. School. Worked for a few years. Now school. I'm 25 and studying for about 6-8 hours a day. Gym for 2-3 hours. Jerk at 2x a day for about 1 hour total. Gaming and interneting and watching stuff for most of the remainder. Get 7-8 hours of sleep a day. Aside from the complete lack of human contact. It's pretty sweet. It's like being on a solo space voyage. I've got a bunch of cool stuff. I'm just alone. Just kinda getting used to the no-so part of it. But I never really needed much socialization. I hang out with co-workers occasionally. Most friends I used to hang out with live hours away now. I spend a lot of time at home with the cat picking up new crafts and art forms. While marathoning Hulu and Netflix. It's actually pretty relaxing. And I'm content with it about 90% of the time. The other 10% is spent depressed because it was just as relaxed plus the ability to cuddle at night when I still had my so. I keep myself pretty busy. I like outdoor activities such as skiing, mountain biking, hiking, fishing, and taking my inflatable boat out. I also spend a lot of time with my dog around town or at some lakes. At home I play a handful of instruments, record and listen to music, read, enjoy cooking, and video games. I have learned to really enjoy myself and don't have a problem with it or feel lonely. I do enjoy company sometimes. But in the end I enjoy being an introvert. When I was flying Han Solo, I would hit lots of open mics, write songs, and network with musicians. I didn't make any hard and fast friends. But I made plenty of acquaintances. A lot of these answers are pretty depressing, so I thought I might share mine. I'm 23 and have only been in 1-year-long relationship, so I'm used to being single. I go to a lot of classes like drawing, painting and woodworking, though I'm absolute T at that. A lot of people say it's good to go to those classes and pick up other hobbies so you'll meet someone, but I figure that if something happens, it will just happen. There is no sense in lurking around bars hoping to find him. Right. Besides, I shouldn't rely on someone else to make me happy. I do get lonely sometimes, but I think that some people in happy relationships might wish they were single sometimes too. I like being on my own. I also spend a ton of time reading and working a job I love. I'm very academically focused for the time and expect to shift that focus to work once I get that degree. I spend a fair bit of time studying, assignments, etc. It seems that computer science has some of the most time-consuming assignments. Besides that, I have a Netflix queue a mile long. I have so many games in my Steam library that I want to play when I get the time, and countless other games that I haven't even bought yet. Hell, I could probably keep myself occupied for years with no work or school with just Netflix and Steam. There's also so many books I want to read. Mostly non-fiction textbook-y books. I love learning. Unfortunately, during the school year, I don't really have time to go beyond the classes I'm taking. I'm actually really looking forward to graduating because school plus part-time job is a killer for my free time. I had about a month of just school and no job in September and it was great. It was the first time I didn't have a job in more than 4 years. But I can't support my ideal lifestyle without a job. Reddit, Netflix, YouTube. I am in quite a few sports fantasy leagues which I track daily. I play volleyball and hockey 5 times a week. I take the dog to the dog park almost every day. I'm in my 40s and divorced. I live by the motto the juice is not worth the squeeze. Dating, sex, companionship is not worth the time and effort for what I would have to give up. The 2 worst things in the world are having to nag someone or being nagged. Women seem to eventually say to me, "You know, if you gave more of yourself then you would get more of me. You don't know what you are missing. I don't want to give up more of myself to get more of you. Not worth it." I don't know if it because I'm married but still my wife and I have no friends. It's lonely and we always wish we had friends. We watch a buttload of Netflix and other comedies on TV. That's it.